Hey friends, we're live. Your friendly neighborhood TS Hawkeye here, intoxicated in my wife's basement again. I'm down here playing with toys. So, the toy I want to talk about today is the Marvel Universe Jubilee figure. I've spoken before about the 14 figures I got for $70, $5 each. This was one of them. So, we'll go into a little bit of history about Jubilee, and then we'll discuss the figure. Jubilee debuted in Uncanny X-Men 244. That was the issue where the X-Men were living in Australia. Gateway teleported them to a mall. So Storm, Dazzler, and Rogue. There may have been somebody else. And again, top of my head, they were there. It was, I think, right after Inferno storyline. It could have been during Inferno storyline. So, you had a parody of the Ghostbusters there to catch the terrible mutant, which was Jubilee. And she was 14, or in her teens. They never, I don't remember them specifying an age. But no, she was a young girl. She was a runaway. Her parents were killed. So she was kind of living in the mall, doing tricks for money with her sparklers. And it's when the lady X-Men got teleported back to Australia. She jumped in at the last moment. She was kind of she wasn't found until I think X-Men 250. But in X-Men 251, the Reavers had basically crucified Wolverine on an X instead of a cross. Jubilee took him down, and she became his kind of unofficial sidekick. After that, she had a stint with the X-Men, always kind of with Wolverine. And then in X-Men 318, maybe, she left the X-Mansion to go and study with Generation X, which was led by Emma Frost and Sean Cassidy, Banshee. It's a pretty good issue. She tells Angel off. It's a basic, you know what I mean, kind of filler X-Men issue. So after she was in Generation X, I guess she got depowered on M Day after the House of M. She had strength gloves, called herself Wondra, and she was in the New Warriors. At one point, she was a vampire, and I guess she has a kid that she adopted or something now. I'm not currently reading X-Men. This is just stuff that, you know what I mean. I read so much stuff online, and sometimes it gets confused. It's all comic book stuff and Attitude Era WWE. Ask me any question about The Rock from that era, and I'll tell you. All right. Getting into the figure. I'll show you the articulation, then we'll go into the figure a little bit. So, Jubilee's head turns, and she does look up and down. She has the shoulder. Her elbow is on a ball joint, and her mid arm turns, to facilitate the gloves. She does move at the hips. She has a cut on the mid-thigh, double jointed knees, and her feet are on a pivot, and they go up and down. All right. I was pretty happy that I got a Jubilee figure. I thought that, you know what I mean, they'd never make a Jubilee. But they did. So I'm happy. And again, I've got this figure secondhand. I only got the figure. I don't know if she came with any accessories. I don't know if she came with anything. So, problem number 1. The face sculpt. You know, this is a character of Asian or descent, and the face is terrible. I've discussed this before in a few videos. Hasbro has a real hard time with female faces. So I don't know if you can see that, but the face is straight on. It doesn't look bad until you realize that doesn't look good. You know, that's not a good looking face sculpt at all. Problem number 2. Because she's wearing the jacket, and if they were going to release a Jubilee, there were 2 things she had to have. Were the glasses on her head and the yellow jacket. She does have the glasses on her head. They are sculpted, they're non-removable. They don't need to be removable. You know, that was just something like with Jubilee, had to have the glasses. Had to have the coat too. But because of the coat, her legs aren't really posable. You know, she suffers from the I gotta pee legs that I've talked about with Dagger. But again, it's not a character that's doing any kicking or, you know, her power is from her hands, not from her fighting. So it's not a real bad thing. Last complaint on this figure is the elbows don't really have a lot of movement, you know, because of the coat. The elbows don't have a lot of movement. You can still put this figure into a lot of great poses. You know, it's but I'm going to show you again the gotta pee legs. She does have an X-Men belt, which is a nice addition. You know, it's again, it's got its issues, but it's not a bad figure. You know, if you're an X-Men completist or a Marvel Universe completist, you're excuse me, you're gonna get it. So again, with a few deficiencies, it's still not the worst figure I own. So, you know, if you have a chance, you see it, as I did. And again, I'm with the Fabulous 14. I'll actually list those sometime. So, I got it. I am an X-Men completist and kind of a completist over everything with certain lines. You know, I never actively collected the Marvel Universe line. I cherry-picked it, and now I'm kicking myself in the ass because I missed out on so many great figures. But luckily, I'm getting some of them secondhand. So, all right. All I got to say is like, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when I leave another grainy drunken toy review from my wife's basement. So, all I got to say to everybody tonight, have a good one. Keep on collecting. That's what makes us great. Yes, end the live stream.